Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? It is Sunday, August 9th. And yep, I'm going to have to talk about stimulus. As you know, I've avoided stimulus videos, but you know what? We had 4 executive orders signed yesterday, all, stimulus related. I thought we should talk about them. I thought we should ask ourselves questions about what might happen next because this isn't over. Then we'll kind of close on some other financial news. There are other things going on in the world. So, again, as my daily financial news video, this one will be, I don't know, unfortunately skewed towards the stimulus. But there are other things going on. So we will get into that. First and foremost, wow, hi from Saudi. Wow, how are you? That was I don't know if you guys can see those texts, but somebody just said hi from Saudi Arabia. So hi back. What I want to talk about is the president did what he said he was going to do. He made it clear to Congress that if there was a significant progress not made on a deal, that he would do his best efforts to help, right? As we discussed yesterday, he does not have the authority to appropriate money. You should actually go back and listen to yesterday's kind of financial news because, I don't know, you can say I got lucky. I got it right this time. I think it made a lot of sense for a couple of his executive orders, 2 of them specifically. The eviction moratorium being extended. Again, remember that is for only federal backed loans through the end of the year. I thought that was within his realm because, again, it doesn't really allocate new monies. Same with student loans. Federally backed student loans have been extended, the payment period for that. Again, both are helpful to the people most impacted by this. But it was the next 2 that I think are going to cause consternation. The first one we'll go to is the payroll. The delay or removing that pay from anybody who makes under $100,000. And let's be clear, it's suspension of the collection, not cancellation. So at least as currently written, those monies will become due. And I did some rough math. For every $1,000 you make, I think you put about $76 in your pocket. So again, it's helpful, right? In this time where every dollar is needed, it is helpful. Again, it only helps the employed. So that's something interesting. But also, I think it sets a dangerous precedent because that $76 per thousand was meant to fill the Social Security and Medicare, for the future, right? It was supposed to be a forced savings for you and I as we get older. So that will be interesting to see play out. And then the big one, unemployment. This is the one that you and I have been looking for. We guessed, lots of people were saying he can't do it. He can't appropriate new monies. And as I said yesterday, well, you gotta watch the vocabulary, right? The key word in that sentence was new money. I actually said yesterday, I suspect he'll do one of 2 things, and it turns out he did both. First, I said he's probably going to reallocate monies already out there that have not been spent and say, hey, take this pile of money that was going to go for X and now make it go for Y. And then I also thought, you know what? Maybe he can sneak under this with some kind of national emergency and use the dollars that FEMA has, right? That FEMA usually deploys after a natural disaster, hurricane, things of that nature. And it turns out he did both. Now it gets interesting. First, what does Congress do? I think they overplayed their hand. Oh man, can you imagine? What can you do? You can come out and say it's illegal, you can do this, you can do that. Um, but does that really play well? Arguing it's not legal? Because on the surface, the headlines, what most people read is unemployment benefits $400. Most people, certainly the ones that need it, that are standing in line, that are filing online, all they know is, gosh darn it, I get an extra $400 a week. They don't understand the intricacies behind it may both cause a delay and that $400 is actually split. $300 is coming from the Fed, right? So the gross up that used to be 6 is now 300. And at least as I read it in the executive order, Trump is asking the states to pick up $100. But the way it was written, it's like if they can, right? Up to, those kinds of things. So I think this is headline grabbing. I think it kind of corners Congress because they really can't push back. But in reality, when I think about the people, and again, I say this as someone whose father was unemployed for long stretches of time when I was a kid, so I remember making hard choices. Do we pay the gas bill or do we buy food? I remember those days. It feels good today to say, good, I'm going to get an extra $400. But as I understand the systems and the allocation of monies and how current unemployment system is set up, this is different. This may cause states to unfortunately have to set up at least part processes that are outside the norm, which given the government bureaucracy we saw with some states failing to pay the $600 for months, people may not get this money for months. I'm going to say weeks, but it could be months. It's I don't think it's going to be easy as we all hope it is. I think it feels good today. I think the talking heads on TV will beat it up today. I wonder what happens in the stock market on Monday. Do they see this as a good thing or the quagmire that it is? A couple of things that kind of play out next is, one, will there be legal challenges? Does frankly, I mean, it's not political. It'll be the Democrats, right? The opposite side of the president. I'm not picking sides. Do they want to challenge it in court? Do they want to file a legal filing that say the president can't do this, can't do that, whatever? They could do that. That feels like a political bad idea, especially in an election year where people will remember, and you'll be giving Trump the headlines that he wants. He wants to say they're stopping me from helping people. The thing that I saw in the 4 executive orders, not arguing are they legal or not, was they were focused on people. They were. Evictions, people. Student loans, people. Unemployment, people. Payroll tax, people. No special interest. No big pork leftist special thing. It was all 4 were about people, which I admire. The people are the ones that are suffering. I liked that they were focused. I liked that they were about the people, right? There's a lot of stuff missing, right? There's the additional stimulus check. There's PPP money. There's all these other things, but he doesn't have the authority. He can't allocate new monies. He had to get creative to find the 400. So love him or hate him, I think he tried. I certainly think some of it's headline grabbing. I mean, it's a political move. I mean, we can't argue that. But still, I think think about the population, right? We're either employed or unemployed or students. He helped everyone. And oh, by the way, Also evictions, again, narrowly focused on federal backed loans. So I think Congress has a choice to make by Tuesday. I think most of them realize that getting the American public that $400 unemployment is going to be messy. They can either choose to wait on the sidelines and wait weeks or months and say, see, I told you, which would both be petty and probably come back to bite them, but they may choose to do that. Or by Tuesday, Congress could say, you know what? Let's do a bill just on the $400 and let's get it where it should be. It should be in the unemployment ranks. It should go through the normal systems. We already know how to do it. And we could take months of pain down to weeks of pain. And by weeks and months, I mean more money to actually go out. Frankly, Congress should do that. They won't. The fact that Nancy Pelosi and President Trump haven't talked in a year or something like that shows just how bad the ill will is between them. And frankly, they're both at fault. They're supposed to be working for the American people. So yeah, the American people need money. The economy needs, consumerism. And the promise of $400 is just that. It's a promise. And as it's currently configured, it's going to take a while, at least as I understand, because it's not the normal process. I want to put it out there. I believe in putting stuff out there. So I'm going to put it out there and hope that the Congress by Tuesday is saying, all right, let's just do an unemployment bill. Let's get the 400 of the people. Let's put our agenda aside. Let's work on everything else. But let's make sure the 400 is as smooth as it can be. I hope they are thoughtful enough to do that. But you and I both know they're not. But let's hope. All right. So in addition to that, we do have some other financial news that I collected today. A lot of my reading has been about these 4 executive orders. I saw a note there's a Federal Reserve in Minneapolis. His name's Kashkari. I read an article that he is recommending 6-week total lockdown, total shutdown of the American economy. Basically, everybody stay home. I read that article and said, no freaking way. There is 0 chance we do that again. Right? I think it's an interesting intellectual exercise to say, could we take what worked in Italy, which was horrible back in March, I think, and do it here? I don't know. We missed our chance. We've done our 1 lockdown. We're not doing it again. There's no chance we do a 6-week lockdown before the election. We're not doing that again. But I read the article. It scared me to think about what would happen if we did that. And then lastly, I don't know if you know this, but Saudi Aramco used to be the most valued company on the planet until Apple passed them here recently. They're obviously in the oil field. And man, I gotta applaud them from going public at the right time. They went public in December of 2019, before all of this happened. Talk about good timing on their IPO, right? Well, it turns out they just reported their first public quarterly announcement, and net income fell 50%. They are seeing an uptick in demand around the world, but man, talk about going public at the right time, huh? So again, net income fell 50% from $46 billion to $23 billion. So pretty interesting going on. But they did maintain their dividend. Their dividend payout is over $17 billion. So free cash flow is about $5.5 million. Billion, not million, $1 billion for them. So at the end of the day, that's what I have for you today. I do have some other videos to create. It's obviously Sunday, so I will do my goals video. And then there's some other ideas I've been thinking about that I'm just going to pontificate and sort of share my ideas with you as we get ready for another week. But I will do those as schedule permits today. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to put out there one more time. Congress, do your job. Do a narrow bill just on the unemployment benefits to help people. All right, take care. Bye.